You know, Hezbollah is very smart. They're all very smart. The press doesn't like when they say it. But Hezbollah, they're very smart. I'll never forget that Bibi Netanyahu let us down. That was a very terrible thing. I will say that. They've got to straighten it out because they're fighting potentially a very big force. They're fighting potentially Iran. And when they have people saying the wrong things.
Out of his mind. I mean, praising Hezbollah, just like he praised Vladimir Putin, said he was brilliant. After the invasion of Ukraine, out of his mind. And again, the fact that Republicans are embracing this guy is absolutely crazy.
Oh, that's gonna hurt!
No, you're telling me this guy's unhinged?
And they said, gee, I hope Hezbollah doesn't attack from the north.
The very man who just got on stage equipped with Obama's full name in his mouth and praised Hezbollah and the Chinese president amidst a torrent of what can only be described as incoherent nothingness.
Instead of keeping terrorists and terrorist sympathizers out of America, the Biden administration is inviting them in. You know why? Because he's got a boss. Who's his boss? Barack Hussein Obama. Barack Hussein Obama. Remember the great Rush Limbaugh? Barack Hussein Obama. Here you go, Barack Hussein Obama. Hello, Lee.
If you haven't tuned into the last few rallies of the 45th president, one, I don't blame you, but two, you would have noticed that amidst a plethora of false claims that he beat Obama in 2016.
Brian, it's all coming through Iran, and Obama he doesn't want to talk about it. He doesn't even mention them in his statements. It's all coming through Iran.
Well, you mean President Biden.
And Jeb Bush was responsible for leading us into the Iraq War.
You know what? He was a military. He got us into the Middle East. How did that work out, right? But they all thought that Bush might win. Jeb. Remember Jeb?
Yes, this coming from the man Republicans elevate as the anecdote to a president that is too old. But he's also continued his praise for abhorrent people and behavior, which, as the Morning Joe host pointed out, is par for the course for the America First president.
We won't play it, but he truly yesterday an insane event where he was talking about
we're gonna show
Barack Obama is actually running the government, criticizing Bibi Netanyahu, saying, I want to make sure I get the quote right, that Hezbollah is, quote, very smart. Hezbollah. So that's the guy that they're defending right now, while the sitting president of the United States makes speeches in defense of Israel, unequivocal defenses, and looks like a president, frankly, while Donald Trump is truly, truly appearing to be off the rails and, frankly, insane.
Out of his mind. I mean, praising Hezbollah, just like he praised Vladimir Putin, said he was brilliant after the invasion of Ukraine. All the praise that he's had for President Xi in China, always talking about what a brilliant man he is. Same thing, of course, with the tyrannical leader of North Korea. You know, he out of his mind. And again, the fact that Republicans are embracing this guy is absolutely crazy. Absolutely. Here we go.
This is
Hezbollah, very smart.
Crazy
Chinese President Xi Jinping, dictator who has overseen China's downfall over the past 5 years, a very smart man. Russian President Vladimir Putin, a genius and savvy. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, who is considered by most human rights organizations to be the most tyrannical, the most oppressive leader in the world. He calls him, quote, a great leader. Look at that. Look, that's your Republican Party right there. That's your Republican Party. That's the guy who's in first place in the Republican contest to be the next presidential nominee for the GOP, while you have two people that are the leaders running for speaker and who still can't tell you who won the 2020 election. It's absolutely crazy.
You have all these arguments about Joe Biden and his age. Please take a look at him over the past 2 days. And you mentioned Taiwan, you mentioned Ukraine, you mentioned the situation in Israel and the Middle East. Now, Joe Biden is basically managing a conflict and an entire world order. And he's doing it with clarity and with context and with a sense of humanity.
Yeah, you know, you stack up any policy press conference that Donald Trump had, any.
What I find hilarious about this, right, is when you listen to Trump supporters talk about what they love about their fearless cult leader, they always say that he stands up for America to dictators and shows strength. When if you actually look at what he said in the past, it couldn't be further from the truth. From the moment he stepped foot in the office, he's cuddled up to fellow authoritarian figures.
I appreciate the gentlelady's passion. There are two facts that she should perhaps be alerted to. One is that Donald Trump, on more than 20 different occasions, defended the performance of the Chinese government, and specifically President Xi, in terms of his treatment of COVID-19. When we zero in on the final months of the war, my Republican colleagues refused to examine the elephant on the battlefield, President Trump's disastrous decision to cut out the Afghan government and negotiate directly with the Taliban, and then to enter into a dangerously lopsided agreement with these authoritarian religious fanatics.
But just because he pushes his way to the front of a line like some petulant school bully, he's somehow a beacon of strength. What is strong about any of this? Seriously, I'm asking, in such a volatile time, this is your anecdote to Biden?
You know, I said that President Xi of China, 1.4 billion people, he controls it with an iron fist. I said he's a very smart man. They killed me the next day. I said he was smart. What am I going to say? But Hezbollah, they're very smart. And they have a national defense minister or somebody saying, I hope Hezbollah doesn't attack us from the north. So the following morning they attacked. They might not have been doing it, but if you listen to this jerk, you would attack from the north because he said that's our weak spot. But Hezbollah, they're very smart.
Because nothing about this clown or any of the GOP members using this unimaginable tragedy to demonize the current administration represents strength. It's cowardice.
So while Hamas carried out these attacks, Joe Biden has blood on his hands.
Also need to understand what is the source of this terrorism, and the source is Iran. Iran is funding Hamas. Iran is funding Hezbollah, who may be getting into this fight. That has been made possible by the Biden administration.
The United States stands with Israel.
We see whales washing up on shore because of the wind. Even with subsidies, these companies are all canceling out because it doesn't work. So the whales will be very happy about that.
Hey Midas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.